Twice in a Lifetime is the 20th episode of the 5th season of The Golden Girls. This is directed by Terry Hughes, and as always, there will be spoilers from now as I go through the episode and share some thoughts. But to be perfectly honest, I don't have a lot to say. I didn't like it. I don't think it's a very good episode. I didn't like Rose in this at all. And I also didn't believe her either. I don't think it was a very believable story. We have a subplot involving Sophia. She starts off by asking Dorothy for some money. Dorothy doesn't like the crowd she's hanging out with. Obviously, we have the reverse of a typical mother-daughter relationship. So Sophia declares that she's going to move out. And she does. And we do have a lovely moment where Blanche reveals that she misses Sophia. She goes to her room at night for advice, and Rose does the same. And it's really sweet, and it's nice to see just how much value Sophia has. Not that we're not aware of this. We are very much aware of this, but it's nice to have that reinforced. And we get to see where she's staying, and she ultimately comes back home. And it was fine. I preferred that to the main narrative, to be honest. The main narrative focuses on a character called Buzz. He's played by Eddie Bracken. And Rose actually used to date Buzz at the same time that she was dating Charlie. I don't get the impression that she was cheating on him. I think this was a time when they weren't exclusive, so I never felt like she was cheating on Charlie or anything. That's not the problem I have. Buzz is in town, and Rose meets him, and she suddenly starts to think that maybe she should go to Europe with him. We did get one exchange that I rather liked, because Blanche says that, "I never tell a man about my past." And Rose responds, "Why?" To which Blanche responds, "It takes too long," which I rather enjoyed. Rose is obviously having concerns about telling Miles, and this is largely where I don't believe it. Why would Rose, after many decades, suddenly decide she's in love with Buzz? Or maybe she's in love with Buzz again. She's in a committed relationship with Miles, yet she thought it was perfectly okay to even allow herself to contemplate the idea of being with Buzz and to go off to Europe with him. That's so disrespectful to Miles. And she even tells Miles she's confused, she doesn't know what she wants. If I were Miles in that situation, well, I don't know what I'd do in real life, but I wanted Miles, no offense to Rose, but I wanted Miles to walk away and say, well, clearly your heart's not in this relationship, otherwise you wouldn't be lusting after Buzz and wanting to go and fly off to Europe with him if you really loved me. And I feel like he should have walked away, because Rose was basically playing games. Yes, she's allowed to be confused, but I also don't believe it. I honestly don't believe that she would suddenly start to think about Buzz and want to go to Europe with him. Had she not been in a relationship with Miles, maybe I could buy it a little bit more, but she was very disrespectful, but I also don't believe it. So on the one hand, I hate her character in this episode, but on the other, I just don't buy it. I don't believe it. It's not a believable scenario. So I'm just going to pretend it didn't happen, because I don't like it for Rose. I wouldn't like it for anybody. And I don't believe it. So it's not a good episode. It's not a good look for Rose. Ultimately, she ends up staying with Miles, which of course was the right decision. But now Miles is going to feel like he was second best, because one could argue that if Buzz wasn't about to, he's in a band, and if he wasn't about to go and tour Europe, maybe Rose would have stayed with him. Had he been living nearby, would it have been more difficult for her to make the decision? I would argue, again, I don't believe it, but within the episode, I'd argue yes. So is Rose only with Miles because it's the easier option, the safer option? Unfortunately, I think so, maybe, and that's unfair to Miles, and I think he should have left her. Because if anybody doesn't know for certain that they want to be with you, why would you want to be with them? So, not a great episode, not a good look for Rose, but I'm going to just pretend it never happened, and all of that to say, twice in a lifetime, it isn't a good episode of Golden Girls.